I know we haven't chatted and, we will. Yeah, it's just been a bit of a crazy couple of days. It is currently Tuesday, so I'm considering this a week in my life vlog, even though I didn't vlog that much yesterday. But yesterday, I suppose essentially it was a long day in terms of being out of the house. It's probably one of the longest days in terms of that I've had since in the new year. I was up pretty early and in university, left the house around 9 and didn't get home, which was to my family home, until 9 p.m. that night. So that was just a long day for me to be out of the house, because I got quite used to being at home literally all day every day for a solid year and a half over the pandemic. So I do find that stuff like that is really, really tiring for me, and I do feel like I need to make sure that I'm keeping up with good food during these times so that I don't, get burnt out, especially when I'm out of the house all day because I'm busy. So yesterday, I had my supervisor's class that I'm the TA for. I was at that, and then I had some work to do on the paper that we're working on, and I had this programming task that I was thinking would probably take 2 days, and I got it done in 2 hours, so I was pretty happy with that. I did just sort of sit down and knuckle down and get it done, and I feel like a lot of the times people see my routines, they sort of see oh, she's only working 4 hours a day on her PhD, or 6 hours a day in total on PhD and university work. And I suppose it's important to note that when I'm doing that, it's not just sitting on my laptop and messing about for that time. It's really dedicated, focused work, which I've built up slowly over a long process, that I know when I put 2.5 hours down in my calendar for something that I will focus on it, because I know I don't necessarily have time later on in the day to do stuff. So because I got really close to having that done, I ended up working a little bit past when I was meant to, and ended up having to pick up lunch and eat it on my way to the bus. So walking and eating hot pasta chicken bake in lashing rain. When I say I was soaking wet, so it was raining into my lunch as I was eating it walking to the bus, which was just not a good work-life balance move. But it was really tasty. I did enjoy it. I did. But yeah, not great. And that was the first thing I'd eaten that day, so not great either. And yeah, so then I was heading off to teach some classes out by the sea. I was covering for one of our teachers. That was 4 hours spent there. And again, usually I wouldn't have that on a Monday, so it was about 2 to 6. Usually I would be just doing my normal PhD work, and I'd usually have some private calls in the evening for one-on-one students, but yesterday was just different because I was covering for a teacher. And then I was getting the bus to counselling, which is a really far way away from where the classes were. So I hung around a bit in the building for a while, had my dinner there. And I was so thankful that Jack had prepped some extra food over the weekend, because otherwise I probably would have had nothing really for dinner. So I got the bus and we did a little bit of grocery shopping, just for stuff for the next day, because I was going to be in my family home the next day, and I hadn't had time at the weekend to meal prep anything. That's something I should have mentioned. Sunday I didn't get to do any of my weekly reset activities. I did get planned for the month, so I'm feeling okay in terms of what I need to do, but I didn't do any of and I did all my cleaning. I just basically didn't do my meal prep and my actual proper weekly planning. So I was just a little bit behind on that, knowing that going into the next day not having any food prepped has started to cause me a little bit of stress, because I know that when I don't eat well I end up not feeling well naturally. So I picked up some stuff in the grocery store, and then I went to counselling, and that was just one thing that we were talking about yesterday even, was just the overall stress I have for March. I'm feeling a bit of dread around it, just because there's so much on, so much on, and it's just all about trying to get through it right now, and basically just seeing what things can I do in terms of being kind to myself, self-care and stuff over the time, to try and make sure that I don't get burnt out, which I think is going to be a challenge. So today then, so last night stayed in my family home because I was minding my dog Lola for the day when everyone else was out and about, and slept really well. It was nice. I watched Euphoria last night as well, so that was nice. Then this morning I just took it really easy. Didn't do any crazy morning routine or anything. And got into work. So I needed to write a news article, sort of supplementary material for an article that's being written ahead of something for the business I run, which is a speech and drama school. We have an auction coming up of our founder who passed away last year, all of her personal items, and that's going to be going into a trust for the school. And so we have an auction coming up, and then there's sort of like a lot of publicity being done around that, because it is sort of quite a historical school. It's been around for over 60 years and we have a lot of, you know, interesting archive material and that. So there is just sort of a renewed interest. So this week is kind of crazy because I had to get all that new stuff done. And then on Saturday, we're actually filming like an actual segment for the news, which is kind of crazy for like a news program. So there's just been a lot going on with that kind of thing. So yeah, and then I was also working on my paper today. I said I was going to do programming. I didn't end up doing that. I just ended up working on the paper. So I worked on the intro and the discussion section. I'm sick of this paper. I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. I don't want to talk about it right now. But oh my god, I just can't wait for this paper to be over. Yeah. Anyways, what else? I had a driving lesson today. I didn't really vlog any of it because I just find it difficult when there's other people involved. I don't really vlog much. So I did go for a walk with my sister, got coffee, had a nice time, and was just doing bits of work for the afternoon. And then I came home, so I cycled home and I just went to the grocery store, or in Ireland we just say the shops. But I say grocery store so people sort of know what I mean, because it's Pancake Tuesday, also known as Shrove Tuesday. Basically it means pancakes today, so I'm going to be having pancakes for dinner and nobody's going to stop me. I bought this pancake mix, which is Odlum's crepe style, and Jack also had one earlier, so he just got American style, so we have two. And then I'm going to be having probably like a 3-course style pancake situation. So one course is going to be like Philadelphia smoked salmon kind of vibes, like savory crepes, and like I'm a mad one for a savory crepe. I know most people, well, I know a lot of people don't like them, but I love them. So I'm going to be having one like that, and then I'm going to be having one that's like a Gruyere pesto chicken, and then one like sweet crepe. And they also got stuff for meal prep, so I'm probably going to do that now. So today I'm going to be working on some analysis for a different paper. Moving on to sort of a next section. I think it's sort of good sometimes when you're having difficulty with things to, you know, be working on something else at the same time. I feel like that's what helps me. Sorry, my iPad's about to die. Basically, one of the supervisors who's on my research studies panel, but not actually one of my supervisors, he just works in sort of a really closely related area, wrote a paper a good while ago, which is sort of pulling together a lot of papers on performance indicators for marathon running based on training. And obviously that's very related to my work. And I did eventually want to basically go back and test what was found in that paper with our data, which is like a large real world training data set. And somebody's gotten in touch with them about writing sort of an article that pulls in their work. So it's just sort of come up as a good time to sort of do this. Basically, I'm just going to go through his paper again, even though I've read it a couple of times, just to get the key information out of it again, make sure I haven't missed anything. And then I'm going to be deciding what features do I need to get in the training data. So basically, like, what training information do I want to pull out? Like things like the total distance per week. Like, I'll have to write a little bit of code to get all of this information. Hello everybody. It is oh my gosh. It is Thursday. I'm just back from the gym. I don't think I filmed anything, but you can trust me. I look like I've come from the gym, right? I'm having breakfast straight away this morning because and then I'm gonna have a shower just because I'm absolutely starving. I didn't really eat anything after like 2 yesterday. Just because I wasn't hungry, or I thought I wouldn't be hungry, and I was wrong, obviously. So I then figured so I started getting hungry on my way to classes that I was teaching for the business that I run, which is speech and drama school. So I was teaching acting classes for teenagers. And it's quite a while away. It's about a 40-minute bus ride away, with a 10-15 minute walk beforehand, or maybe it's a 30-minute bus. It's probably about 45 minutes in total. Yeah. And on my way there I started getting kind of hungry, and I was like, because there's nowhere, once I get off the bus, there's nowhere to get food. So I was like, oh well, I'll eat something when I go home. But then, when you get hungry and then you don't eat anything, it went past the point of hunger that I started to get really nauseous, and I was on the way home then thinking I was actually going to get sick, which is not great. And then I went to bed with a pain in my stomach. So overall, not good. And at least I know it won't happen today because I don't have anything really major on this evening. I'll be at home most of the evening. So yeah, anyways, making some breakfast. And then I need to work on, I need to do a couple of emails for the speech and drama school. And I also need to then edit a sponsored video. So I filmed that yesterday. It's for a sponsorship for International Women's Day that I'm really excited about. I'm just really excited about that video in general. I feel hopefully you all like it. So I need to edit that, and I usually do spend a bit more time editing sponsored videos just because obviously somebody's paying for them. So I've put down a couple of hours for that. I may end up having to do a bit more, but I think I spoke, because I practiced it, so I think I spoke quite succinctly. I don't feel like there's going to be much editing in a way, but I think it's still going to take a while, so we'll see. And then I have to head to university because I'm invigilating for an exam. I started working on some new work yesterday, and I actually do have some results already. I think I did it pretty quickly, but I have a bit more to do on it to be able to produce something done. So I need to just do some graphs today, data analysis graphs, so that I have that to show them. And then I also need to do a little bit of editing of the paper, but really I just want to wait for their feedback. It's just been really difficult, this one paper. I think it's just not something that I'm used to, so I'll definitely do a video on this sort of paper style. And then the other thing that I have on today is a staff meeting with the theatre school staff ahead of Saturday, because we have a news filming crew coming in to do a piece on us for the news, which is very exciting. And that we're filming on Saturday, so yeah, we just need to make sure we're all on the same page, and just that there's sort of that I let them know basically which classes are likely to be filmed. That is at 8 o'clock, which is not great. I usually like to try and finish up work at around 6 on a Thursday and just enjoy the evening, because with the work I do, I don't get a huge amount of time off. So I like to try and take, you know, Thursday, Friday evenings and then Sunday evenings as well. Sunday is technically a full day off because I don't have any like mandatory work. I don't have PhD work. I don't have, you know, work for the business too much. I do end up doing maybe a little bit here and there, but I don't have any like teaching hours or anything like that on a Sunday. But then I do tend to do YouTube work on a Sunday, and I have an upload on a Sunday, and I'll tend to do my like Instagram content on a Sunday. So it is optional work though, in my opinion. So I never really feel like I'm like, oh, I have to do this. It's always like a choice, I feel. Especially because like if I do have a sponsored video, like I'll have that done well in advance, that, you know, it's not really stressing to get it done. I can never get a good picture of my food in this kitchen. I just finished editing my video for my sponsorship that I was mentioning. Oh my god, this angle. Yeah, so I just finished editing that, and now I have about an hour for some admin. Sorry, you can hear it exporting in the background, so apologies for the computer breathing, but yeah, I'm doing an admin hour. I have a good few tasks on my list that I just want to get off of there. So I'm going to see how many I can get done in this time. And yeah, I'm hoping to get like 10 of them done today, at different points, you know, in the day when I have time. That's what I've been finding just really helpful for getting stuff done, is keeping this rolling task list of stuff that I need to do. And then just taking a quick look at my calendar to make sure I just haven't missed anything today as well. It was starting out as a pretty crazy week or month, I suppose, and now it's just sort of starting to settle, and I feel like it's all going to be okay. So yeah, basically I think I always sort of wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I just didn't really, you know, I was a bit nervous. And when I started doing my PhD, like it was the first time where I had all of this time during the day that I had to organise myself, because I always would have worked in undergrad and masters. So it was like basically you do your assignments when you have time, and if you don't do them then you don't get it done. So I had to be like productive in that way. But then when I started the PhD, I had so much more free time that I was like, how do I organise all of this free time? So I started reading up a lot on productivity, and I found that there wasn't really anyone on YouTube like talking about how to be productive during a PhD. And there was like a few channels like Simon Clark, who has like, you know, a couple 100,000 subscribers from when he did his PhD, but he's all finished now, and there's not many people like currently doing a PhD on YouTube. So I just figured I'd give it a good go, you know, and I think it's going okay. Hello, time for a little Sunday check-in, since I inevitably always forget to end these vlogs. So Friday evening, in the afternoon, you can see I had a quick chat with a company, and that was for a potential sponsor. Then in the afternoon, me and Jack went to the school that I teach speech and drama from mainly, to set it up for the next day, because we had a camera crew coming in for the full day on Saturday to film videos for a news sort of show that's being done on us. It's on just after the news, and it was really exciting for all the kids and everything to be involved, and they were all really happy and all the parents were excited. It was definitely a big deal. I was obviously really stressed about it because it's, you know, it's our business, and just making sure that everything was going well. I'd been having sort of bad dreams about it all week, and like I had to do an interview as the director of the school, and it's just a tough one because you know, I don't talk about this much on my channel because it's very different to my PhD. It's very separate. But the drama school that I run is the longest standing drama school in Ireland. And the person who ran it before me was, you know, teaching there for over 60 years and opened the school when she was 23, 24. And I took over the school when I was 24 when she passed away.
Going on stage. First of all, they're the absolute purists who say, yes, we must have drama. This is good for imagination, qualities of leadership, all of that.
It's a huge, huge legacy to be following on. So naturally, I think there's just a lot of stress that comes with carrying that and making sure that we keep going to the same high standards. And so I started running that in the summer after the first year of my PhD. And that's why if you look at my upload history on YouTube, you'll see that from the summertime of my first year of my PhD, it got very inconsistent. It became impossible because what used to be something that I was working on in my spare time, because I was still working for the school, a couple of hours a week, and, you know, helping out with different things and starting to help out with some of the administrative work, then became a full-time job on top of my full-time PhD. And then has since grown a lot. So there's now even more work around it because the school has grown, you know, almost 200% in that time. And yeah, I don't talk about it a lot. I think part of that is because I always worry that by talking about one thing, I let down the other people. So if I talk to people in my PhD about my business, not my business, I don't own it, just to mention, I'm the director, I run it, but it's not really owned by anybody anymore. It's now part of a trust, essentially, that is, you know, they're designed to allow the school to continue and allow us to keep doing this work and keep running these classes. And so when I talk to people in my PhD world about the business, I feel like I'm letting them down by doing that, and vice versa. I think when I talk to people in the business about my PhD, I feel like I'm letting them down by not being fully dedicated on either side. And then when I talk to anybody about my YouTube, I feel like I'm letting everybody down by being involved with something else outside of either of those. And that's something that I'm trying to change my mindset about. But yeah, you know, it was a very stressful day yesterday, a really long day. It was a really good day. I know it was a really good day. I think it's going to be huge for the school to be appearing on that news show, and it was huge for everybody who was involved. And yeah, but I am so tired. I have never been so tired in my life. When I came home yesterday, like absolutely shattered, and I could feel like swelling all inside me from just being so tired. And it was just really the stress of it all than anything else. So I'm so glad that that's over. I do have a bit more filming to do with them on Monday in the auction house, but that's going to be fine. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up there. That's, I think, the biggest thing that was going on in March for me. Like, I have other stuff on this month, but that was the biggest, most stressful thing. So I'm really glad that that's now sort of in the past. It's going to be interesting to see how it all comes together, and I just really hope it goes well. But yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. I think I'm back on track with starting to do more regular vlogs. I think it's something I've gotten more in the habit of now. So if you do like this type of vlog content, my plan is to start doing one sort of vlog style video a week and one more informative style video a week. I think that's something that I can manage. So let me know what you think about that. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to all of my wonderful members as always. You do make it possible for me to continue making these videos, so I do thank you. And I'll see you all in the next video.